controls, Hulk Hogan. Shove that control into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan.
The WWF, now known as the WWE of course, was huge during the early days of Sky Television in the UK. During 1989 to 1992, Sky saw a leap in subscribers, partly down to the likes of the early series of The Simpsons, partly down to the excellent range of movie channels, partly down to the exclusive television rights to the newly formed Premier League, and partly down to the success of WWF wrestling. In America, the rise of the WWF could be attributed to the mid-80s successes of Hulkamania, tied into the extraordinary triumphs of those yearly WrestleMania pay-per-views. By 1990 though, Vince McMahon was trying out an experiment. He was trying to replace the irreplaceable. He was trying to switch the status of the company's top face from Hulk Hogan to the Ultimate Warrior. To many UK Sky subscribers, the WWF's top dog at the time wasn't the vitamin-popping, prayer-saying Hulk Hogan, but the snarling, snorting man from parts unknown. Get yourself into a time machine and go talk to kids in a late 80s British schoolyard and just ask them who their favourite wrestler is. Some will say Hulk Hogan, of course, whatever the 80s equivalent of hipsters might say Randy Savage, but the vast majority would say the Ultimate Warrior. There were better wrestlers, sure, but no one loved Ricky Steamboat, let's be honest. Warrior had this incredible look. He had cool, soft rocker hair, as opposed to the Schoolgate lurker hair curtain sported by Hogan, an incredible physique that looked like pebbles wrapped in a condom, and that cool-ass makeup that resembled a superhero's mask. He also had that wicked, pumping entrance theme ripped from the opening bars of Communication Breakdown by Led Zeppelin. He didn't bother with rest holds, he just ran in, kicked the other guy's ass and left. He was the guy you picked at the arcade when you played WrestleFest or WWF Superstars. He was why you were enthralled with wrestling, and he was the entry-level drug to an addiction that still exists for many 28-year-old plus men children today. Yeah, soon you discovered the technical ability of Ted DiBiase, the intense ring psychology of Jake Roberts, and later on you found the coherent, charismatic promo cutting of The Rock, or the incredible wrecking ball charisma that was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Some of you may even have developed a taste for less mainstream wrestling, such as Ring of Honor, the British scene, ECW, or the Japanese federations. Some of you may have even entered the grapple game yourself. Certainly, some of this generation's top WWF superstars count the Ultimate Warrior as the reason they love wrestling. Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Edge, and Chris Jericho all held the Warrior as their biggest hero of their childhoods. He was a disruptive character backstage during his various runs with the WWF and WCW, making few friends and alienating himself to the point where there was no shortage of interviewers lining up for the controversial 2005 DVD, Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. Outside of the ring, the former Jim Hellwig was an outspoken right-wing campaigner with some questionable views on subjects such as homosexuality. It seemed highly unlikely that the man now officially known as Warrior would ever step foot in a WWE ring ever again. Over the last year though, things changed. He seemingly mellowed. He agreed to participate in the advertising for the video game WWE 2K14, something unthinkable just a couple of years back. Finally, Triple H approached him about being at this year's Hall of Fame. He agreed and redemptively spent much of the WrestleMania 30 weekend burying hatchets with long-term enemies like Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, Triple H and Jake the Snake Roberts. The night after Mania, and having signed a 3-year ambassador's contract, the Ultimate Warrior came out and cut a promo on Raw which now sounds like a self-eulogy.
No WWE talent becomes a legend on their own. Every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lungs breathe their final breath. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the body of others. It makes them believe deeper in something than larger than life. Then his essence, his spirit, will be immortalized by the storytellers, by the loyalty, by the memory of those who honor him and make the running the man did live forever. You are the legend makers of Ultimate Warrior. In the back, I see many potential legends, some of them with warrior spirits, and you will do the same for them. You will decide if they lived with a passion and intensity, so much so that you will tell your stories and you will make them legends as well. I am Ultimate Warrior. You are the Ultimate Warrior fans. And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
The day after this, which was 18 years since his last appearance on WWF Raw, the Warrior passed away seemingly of a catastrophic heart attack. Without this wonderfully chaotic creation, many of us would not be involved in wrestling at all, as fans, as wrestlers, or as managers. We were all little warriors. Now we're all a little heartbroken. Thanks, and rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior.